Well, it looks like I was wrong about the Vikings. They're not on acid, they're on something way worse. I think it might be steroids. Welcome back to Cheesehead Talk, where we talk about anything and everything Cheesehead related. I'm your host, Austin, and welcome back to the channel. Last week's predictions was really bad. I'm not even going to talk about that because I've had some people talk to me saying your predictions were way off. And yes, I know that, but last week was such a crazy week. I mean, the Raiders beat the Ravens. The Vikings beat the 49ers. I don't know how in the world on God's green earth that happened. The Cowboys got absolutely demolished by the Saints. I mean, I'm not really disappointed about that. I personally enjoyed it. And a lot of other things. But the Green Bay Packers did win, so I was right about one of them. But yeah, let's get into today's predictions. If you are new to the channel, like and subscribe. And comment your favorite NFL team. But yeah, let's get into today's picks. The first game up, you got the New York Jets taking on the New England Patriots. Both of them are 1-1. Last week, the Jets had their comeback week winning against the Titans. The Patriots, though, was not unfortunate. They did lose last week, even though their first week they did knock off the Bengals, which is pretty interesting. But besides that, I'm just going to have to go with my gut here and just say that the New York Jets are going to get the win on Thursday night. I just personally don't see the Patriots winning. And they got Aaron Rodgers, so I'm a little bit biased, but it is what it is. Next, moving on, you got the New York Giants taking on the Cleveland Browns. The Giants, they've been really unlucky so far this year. It's just not been a good start so far. But the Browns, they're a hit or miss. But, just to go with what I think is going to happen, I'm just going to say the Browns are going to win. So yeah, we're going with the Cleveland Brownies. Next up, you got the Green Bay mother-loving Packers taking on the Tennessee Titans. Now I know the Titans do have Will Levis, and he went to UK, which is my college. Well, I don't go there, but they're my team in college besides Georgia. But anyways, the Titans have had such an unlucky start. You've heard it all everywhere. They blew a 17-0 lead against the Bears, and the Bears didn't even score a touchdown in that game. It was all the Titans' offense, which is the reason why they lost. And then last week, they had an unfortunate outing with the Jets, and they somehow ended up losing that one as well because of Will Levis. But then you got the Green Bay Packers. We had our bounce back week last week, catching our first win at home, and also we are the first team to ever get 800 wins in a franchise. Thank you. Can someone please give me a round of applause for that? Because no one else has been talking about it. But it's a huge accomplishment. We are the highest winning team in football history. But besides that, we did have our bounce back week last week with Malik Willis doing extremely well. If you want to go check out my coverage of that game, it'll be on my channel somewhere. I don't know. But yeah, go check out that video. But Malik Willis did extremely well. He did what we wanted to do, even though there was throw up on the ball. We still won the game. So we're 1-1 now. And honestly, Jordan Love is back practicing, but he's not said anything yet about whether or not if he can play Sunday or not. But I personally think no matter if he's playing or not, I think we have an extremely high chance at beating the Titans. So you know what? The Green Bay Packers are going to win this game. Next up, we got this is Chicago Bears and the Indianapolis Colts, because they're a cult. The Colts, I hate to say this because the Bears, I don't like the Bears, but the Colts we beat last week. And, I know the Bears offense is doing extremely bad, but their defense is going extremely good. And the Colts, they haven't won a game yet, even though Jonathan Taylor did do extremely well last week against us, even though we still won. I'm going to have to go with Indianapolis Colts. You think I'm going to choose the Bears to win a game? Heck no. Yeah. The next game up, we got the Houston Texans, aka the Strouds, versus the Minnesota Vikings. Now, the Vikings, I don't know what in the world has been going on with them recently, but they've been winning. They're leading our division right now, the NFC North, at the top, and then you got Lions, Bears, then us. Why are the Packers still on the bottom? We should be above them. Whatever. But anyways, you got them taking on the Houston Texans. They're both 2-0. So one of them is going to be handed their first loss of the season already, and it's definitely not going to be the Texans, because you know what? I'm choosing the Texans because I don't see the Vikings doing the unthinkable again. If they do, then I've lost all hope. If the Vikings win this game, then nothing happens, because we ain't playing the Vikings, even though we will be playing them, I believe, next week after this week. Yeah. I want the Houston Texans. Next up, you got the Philadelphia Eagles versus the New Orleans Saints. The Saints had a heck of a week last week, defeating the Cowboys like 44 to like 16, I think. It was crazy. And then you got the Eagles, who blew the game with letting Kirk Cousins on the Falcons do a 70-yard drive down the field to end the game and win. How does that happen? I do not know how that happened, but you know what? The Eagles, they had a rough start. This could be their bounce back game, but personally, I want to go with the Saints, because I want to see if they can go and be another highly classed NFL team. So, yeah, I'm going with the New Orleans Saints. Next up, you got the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers somehow won another game last week without barely doing anything at all on offense, which is crazy. I forgot what happened with the Chargers, but I know they won last week. But Justin Fields hasn't really been doing anything really on the Steelers, with Russell Wilson being injured. But just to make a quick prediction fast, I am just going to say the Chargers, because I don't really have much to talk about with that game. Next up, you got the Denver Broncos taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I still can't believe the analyst on here is giving the Broncos a 3% chance of winning this game, because I think it should be a 100% chance the Tampa Bay Buccaneers win this game. But you know what? They had to give it to the Broncos to be 3%. But, it's just an easy pick going for the Buccaneers, because Baker Mayfield is baking this season. This next game, I really don't even need to talk about it. I mean, it's the Carolina Panthers versus the Raiders. But how does the Panthers have a 4% chance of winning against the Raiders whenever they give the Broncos a 3% chance of winning against the Buccaneers? I think the Broncos should have a higher chance of winning than the Panthers do. I mean, it's the Panthers. They benched their number one overall pick that they got, I believe, a year ago. I can't remember. I'm not good with math. But anyways, it's an easy pick. I'm going with the Las Vegas Raiders. Next up, you got the Seattle Seahawks versus the Miami Dolphins. And the Dolphins had a really bad week last week. They lose to the Bills on Thursday, and they lose their quarterback for the meantime. Tua, if you don't know, went out with a concussion in the game, and there is thoughts about him possibly retiring from the league, which I hope doesn't happen, but it's looking like that. I mean, he had such a bad year last year with concussions, and this year it just ain't looking too good, especially this early on. And the Dolphins don't really have a lot of units aside from Tyreek Hill. I believe they have Jalen Waddle as well, but at the moment at quarterback, they don't really have a lot of other units, and just because of that, the Seattle Seahawks are a more put together team right now. So I'm going to be going with the Seattle Seahawks. Next one, I really want to talk about this because it's the Baltimore Ravens versus the Dallas Cowboys. The Ravens have had the worst luck to start off the year. You lose to Kansas City because of a toe, and last week they somehow lose to the Raiders. How does that happen? Please explain that to me. I don't care about the Cowboys. I'll always root against them. So just for that, I'm rooting for the Baltimore Ravens, because I think this week the Baltimore Ravens are going to have their bounce back week, and they are going to pick up the win. Next up, you got the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Los Angeles Rams. The 49ers, Christian McCaffrey is still out at the moment, and I don't know when he's going to be coming back because he has that Achilles injury right now. But I do believe the 49ers are going to have their bounce back week this week. The Los Angeles Rams, they are losing. They don't have Puka. They don't have Cooper Kupp. Matthew Stafford can't run the whole time. So you know what? The heck with it. 49ers are winning. You got the Detroit Lions taking on the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals have actually been slaying pretty well this year, even though they're 1-1. It should be 2-2. And the Lions, I could care less. Because you know why? Because it's the Lions. But anyways, the Detroit Lions did lose last week, which was really surprising because I figured they would win. And the Cardinals, they lost last week, even though I believe I did pick them last week to win, even though they didn't. I'm just going to have to go with Detroit on this one just to be safe for my picks. So you haven't got the Detroit Lions. Then you got Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Atlanta Falcons on Sunday Night Football. Why is this a Sunday Night Football game? I don't know. But you know what? I really want to say Kirk Cousins is going to have another amazing week this week and beat the Kansas City Chiefs. But I don't know if that's going to happen because, the refs, they love the Chiefs. And that's it. I hate to say it, and I don't want to see the Chiefs win another Super Bowl. But the Chiefs probably are going to win this game. So just to be on the safe side, I'm going to go with Kansas City Chiefs. Next up, you got Monday Night Football. You got a double hitter. You got the Jacksonville Jaguars versus on the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen, he's actually doing pretty good right now, considering what happened last year. And the Jaguars, I'm honestly a little bit shocked that they haven't won at least one game. But it's only week 3. And you know what? Just to get out of the way, Buffalo Bills win this one. Next up, the last game on Monday Night Football, you got the Washington Commanders take on the Cincinnati Bengals. I, honest to goodness, about chose the Commanders to win this game just because I feel like they might. They have a good chance. Even I think they do have a higher chance than 9%. But the Bengals haven't won a single game this year, and I don't know why. But I think this week's going to be Cincinnati's comeback week. So, you know what? Cincinnati Bengals win. But yeah, that concludes today's episode of Cheesehead Talk. This is my week 3 predictions. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments. Follow all my social medias. I'll be linked down below. And yeah, catch you in the next episode. Peace.